Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. This is a very special day because I'm doing a fundraiser today, and I'm doing a fundraiser for a friend, for Jen with one N. Be- and I didn't have my other uh, block unmuted, and so that's why you got an echo for just a moment there. And in just a moment, I'm going to go ahead and introduce all of my guests. But first, I want to say hello to everyone who is in the chat. Hello to B, and hello to Ted Franks. And that's all I see at the moment is B and Ted Franks. I'd be willing to bet that there's a few others out there that are lurking. And as soon as I see other names pop up, we'll go ahead and say hello to them as well. Junie was here just a moment ago, and Junie is having a few issues with connectivity, and so I'm sure Junie will be back as soon as those issues get resolved. But there's Ricardo. Hello, Ricardo. One thing I want to say right away is please, for this fundraiser, do not send super chats. There is a link that is pinned that is there for the fundraiser. Please send your funds through that. If you send a super chat instead, then I send the money to Jen, but Google collects 30% of it first. So we really need you to use the donation link rather than a super chat, because that would really help us out a lot. So with that out of the way, I'm going to let Ox introduce himself first, because this is the first time I have ever had Ox on my channel. Welcome, Ox.
Hello everybody. Just Ox. I'm just glad to be here. Thanks for the invite.
You're welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do? Do you have a channel? What are some things that interest you?
As far as my channel, I just put some music up, nothing special. It's not my music. I'm a admitted music pirate.
Okay.
Retired from the carnival after 15, 16 years of show business.
Cool. What did you do in the carnival?
Everything. I started when I was 13. I moved from hauling bolts and pins around to I was actually a lot boss for the last 3 or 4 years I was in there.
You were what the last few years?
The lot boss. It's like the foreman.
Oh, okay.
Just under the show owner's power.
Okay, very good. That sounds
I made sure the games were lined up. I made sure the rides are spaced out right, that they held up to all the safety standards that the states would put on us and stuff like that. Other than that, I'm basically retired in North Carolina near the beach.
Oh, that sounds like a fun place to be.
And addicted to YouTube, I guess.
And Jen, it is good to have you here, and you are the star of today's show. And I'm going to go ahead and let you tell us a little bit about not just a little bit, but what is the situation that brought us here today?
Well, we had a really horrible July. Let's just start there. Second week of July, my daughter, who's 22, she comes down the stairs in agony, and we couldn't figure out, what the pain was. Like, it's in her back, it's around her side. She feels like she's being twisted and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God, I hope it's not kidney stones. Oh, guess what? It was kidney stones. 22 years old. So I take her to the ER, and we're there for like 8 to 10 hours. And then she goes to a urologist. She gets a shunt put in. She gets on all these different meds to make her like help pass the stone. If you know, you know. And that stone was on its way out. And the very next day, because she had no appetite, and her boyfriend at the time was like, oh, well, I'll take you out for pancakes. You love pancakes. Let's go to IHOP. They get in a wreck on the way there.
Jen, can you get a little closer to your mic?
Yep, hold on. I can turn it up a little bit. Is that
Okay, that'd be.
Hold on. Is that better?
Try say some more.
Is that better?
Not really. Can you get in more?
Yeah, hold on. Is that better?
No.
Oh, crud. Hold on a second. I always have problems with tech all the time. Is that working?
It's working. Why don't you just kind of stay kind of close to it? That
Okay.
might help.
Okay, I can do this.
Okay.
So her and her boyfriend got in this huge wreck the day after she got this shunt put in. And of course, it was her side of the car that got whipped into a barricade. And he lost both front wheels. They just flew off the car. It was horrible. I mean, you don't want to get that call, you know? So we spent another 10 hours in a different ER in Buffalo. Sorry, my dog's barking in the background. And they checked the shunt. They make everything was okay. She was a human bruise. I mean, she was nothing broken, no stitches, but just a human bruise. And she did have a ride in an ambulance, but it was covered by, the accident. And then about 10 days later, my dogs are barking. I'm sorry. About 10 days later, after the first stone passed, she comes down the stairs again at 3:00 in the morning and goes, "Mom, it's happening again." What is going on with my mic? Can you still hear me?
I can. It's still kind of quiet, but we can still hear you.
All right. So then she comes down again at 3:00 in the morning, and she goes, "I'm having this pain again. Oh my goodness, it's happening again on the other side." So the first side was her left side. This time it was her right side. So we take her back to the ER. We get more scans, more pokes, and find out that this kidney stone was nearly twice as big. It was, the first one was just about 3 millimeters, and the second one was just about 5 millimeters. So you never want to go through that pain twice. And here she was within July, just July, kidney stone, car accident, kidney stone. So that evening or morning, I should say, I called the doctor, got on with the nurse, and she said, what is happening? And I told her what was happening. And I said, also, Marissa is vomiting all over the place because of the pain. And she's pale and she's shaking, and I don't want her to go into shock from the pain. So she's like, get her to the ER right now, because her fever was starting to go up too. So then we get there, and like I said, another 10 hours, but I had to call an ambulance this time. And even though we don't have copays for, going to the ER, which a lot of people do, it could be $25, $50, $100 even to walk in. Luckily for us, we have a zero copay for the ER, which is wonderful. But we have a full price ticket for any ambulance ride, which this one was $13.47. Yeah, and that was a 10-minute ambulance ride. My daughter was disappointed because they didn't even put on the sirens.
Oh, come on. Oh.
Judy, welcome. Thank you for coming.
Hi, everyone. Sorry, technical issues with me. I'm just actually getting home. So I think my phone was just trying to prevent me from being online.
Well, this seems to be a bit of a tech issue day because there have been other tech issues with this as well. So you've heard the story, and Jen just needs a little bit of help. And so that's what we are all here for, just to give Jen a little bit of help. And so there is a link in the chat. There's a pinned link to allow you to donate to the fundraiser. And I'm going to go ahead and update this and see what we've got. And currently we have raised $380.
That's awesome.
Ooh.
So we need a little bit more to help finish out getting this ambulance bill covered. So while we are doing that, what is up with everybody? What would anyone like to talk about today?
It's up to
Well, that's the thing.
395.
I thought we were gonna. I'm sorry. I I would assume that our topic would be somewhat around healthcare and especially when it comes to costs.
Okay, yeah, that's a great topic. Yeah, that is one of the things that I find really frustrating about living in the United States is that we are the only industrialized country in the world that does not have national health care. And, everyone says, well, we can't do it, we can't do it. But that's a bunch of crap. We most definitely can do it. Everyone else can do it. We can too. It would be difficult to start, but it can be done. And unfortunately, crowdfunding is the way that a lot of people have to go with medical bills.
Great example. And of course, we're a great community to help each other out.
Yes.
Especially when whatever the reason it would be, we'll try to pull each other, through. And of course, I'll give what I can, whether it be today or tomorrow. But
This is definitely the community for helping each other.
Yeah, it
came
is.
to the right place.
And we are up to $395. Tamarin said that he just sent something in. Is that the one that you sent in, Tamarin, or was that separate? It's kind of hard to tell because there was a $15 anonymous that came through just a few minutes ago. But there's probably more coming, and we will just keep going and keep watching. Yeah, I did think that one of the best things that came out of the Obama presidency was Obamacare, because that at least gave everyone an opportunity to have pre-existing conditions covered. And you don't have to stick with one job just so that you can keep your health insurance.
I'm the queen of pre-existing conditions. My goodness.
And the
There
thing
was
like
one time,
go ahead.
those like Aflac supplementary insurance. We had something like that a while ago, and we tried to put in a claim. Actually, it was for Marissa back when she was 12, and they said, "Oh, we can't cover that. That's a pre-existing condition." I said, "Excuse me?" Because we tried to put in, oh gosh, I think we just wanted gas money to and from the hospital. Because we had to travel from here to Buffalo is a good half hour on the highway, plus tolls. And she was in the Women's and Children's Hospital for almost 3 weeks. And I think the insurance, we had the same insurance, they covered most of it, but she was in the eating disorder ward, and she was the youngest child there with, the youngest woman there with eating disorder, and they said, that's a pre-existing condition. I said, oh really? So they wouldn't cover it, so then we dropped them.
Lone Wanderer says, this is why I miss catastrophic plans. There were problems with catastrophic plans too. Just about any kind of private insurance you're going to get. And one of the problems is not having a single payer system. You've got different coverages from different companies. You've got different rules on how to file and so forth. I have back issues, as most of you know, and I've had them since I was a teenager. And I remember my dad getting all frustrated with the health insurance when I was a teenager, trying to get our physical therapy bills covered, and him saying that I finally figured out the system. And once he figured out the system and knew what they wanted filed and how they wanted it filed and when they wanted it filed, they paid all the bills. But trying to figure that out was rather difficult.
I remember when a doctor tried to give my mom, who's 80, the blood clot medicine, Xarelto. And he said, well, we can't go generic because the generic one isn't specifically, nuanced what we need for blah, blah, blah. So we have to go with the name brand Xarelto for a specific whatever. And Medicaid doesn't cover Xarelto at all. At least 18 months ago didn't. And that's $750 for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. That's my mom's entire retirement income. So my sister put 2 weeks of it on her Amex card for my mom and said, don't worry about it. I'm your daughter. I got you. And then they said, after 2 weeks, we'll reassess and see how she is and if she doesn't need any more. Luckily she didn't need any more after 2 weeks because that's ridiculous. That's like $1,500 a month.
I have something to show you, Jen.
Okay.
Give me a minute. It's going to take me a minute to get it up. You guys can talk while I work on this. Junie, tell us a little bit about yourself. We didn't get a chance to introduce you.
Oh yeah. Well, I currently work, I guess, in the healthcare system. I'm a dental assistant, so I know a bit how how people get treated pretty much based on your insurance, actually. So I didn't know about well, when I was younger, the difference between the existence of private insurance. I thought that everybody just goes to the doctor, and if you have a problem, you can just go. And then when you grow up, you realize a lot of that stuff just falls on you, and it's like, oh, especially when it comes to like something that's over $100, I don't have that kind of money, So, and of course, growing up, you I don't know if you're entitled to having Medicaid, but as a child, but I guess it depends on the income, huh? Okay, so
it depends on a lot of things. And one of the big things it depends on is what state you live in. There, can you see that?
Yes. That's
What do you think of that?
That is awesome.
Yeah, we're up to $435.
Yes. Thank you
when
guys
did this
so much.
start?
When did
I made the GoFundMe yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
How long are you gonna leave it up?
Maybe a month.
Oh, you'll get to your goal by then.
Yeah, I hope so. Because I would like to just take it all out and pay them. Because I know even the ambulance people, that's their income. I'm not knocking them for charging that much. It just wish my insurance paid it.
Yeah.
I have my niece and nephew who are married. My nephew married her. She's an EMT and he's a firefighter. So I know how it is, when they don't get their ambulance rides paid, the whole ambulance business could go under. And then where are you?
John Oliver did a really good show on emergency medicine just a couple of just a week or so ago. And one of the things he talked about is the fact that the EMT is not covered under emergency services. So when the city gets billed or gets money for emergency services, none of that goes to the ambulance. And that's a big part of the reason why the charges for the ambulances are so high. It's their only source of income.
Totally.
That's crazy. Well, it's no wonder. I think I was in high school. I got, I got an asthmatic attack, and so I got billed with a $3,000, I guess bill. And when I got it, I'm just like, wait, what happened? Wait, how come I'm being charged this much?
What'd they say?
Well, I mean, at the time, I guess I wasn't so sure about insurance and all that stuff. But then my parents, they, I guess, called it in. And luckily it got covered. At
That's
least
good.
some portion of it.
Yeah. Lone Wanderer says health insurance is the last thing my husband and I have attached to an employer. We can afford private insurance, but we get a better deal through his employer. We pay for life insurance on our own. Yeah. And that was one of the real perks of the Affordable Care Act. Is prior to the Affordable Care Act, if you did not have health insurance through an employer, private insurance was through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never had insurance until Obama did his thing.
Mm. So when you worked for the carnival, did you weren't able to get any insurance through them?
No, because the carny set up, when you become a carny, you are a private contractor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you're responsible for all your own stuff. But not bragging, but you usually made enough to cover minor medical stuff.
Oh, that's
So
good.
it wasn't never really a big deal. But
Mm-hmm.
my wife's family, they're racked with medical stuff all through their family, and I see that all the time, and I just don't know how they do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
It's a sad state of affairs.
It is. I mean, $1,500 for a ride downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You can steal a candy bar and get a free ride right next door.
And,
Ted
you know,
Frank says, when I got put out to pasture, I burnt through my savings, then in under 4 years, what I went through after, that is insulting to the human race. No one should go without food, power, water, heat. Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
seeing between like paying your medical bills or paying like the water, gas, and everything else.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That is the choice that a lot of people are being put into, the position people are being put into.
My mother
And then
actually
the other
thought-
thing is a lot of people are using Uber for ambulances.
Mhm.
If someone needs an
Yeah.
ambulance, they're calling an Uber instead.
Fun fact: I'm also an Uber driver. I haven't had one of those, but yeah, I think there is a service now being offered, to be taken to either a doctor's office or an emergency
Yeah.
room. I think you get
We
paid a little
have
extra.
a medical taxi service here in the city.
Mm.
So you can call specifically, and it's for doctor's appointments or if you're going to the ER, but it's not like crazy emergent, like if you sprained your ankle or something, they'll take you,
Mhm.
and it's a specific taxi service that is only.
Looks like somebody's daughter is in the chat.
Oh, probably my daughter. That's Marissa. That's Marissa.
Oh, hey,
Hi,
Marissa.
Marissa.
She's at my oldest's house across town. Yeah.
Almost a Doctor says, I nearly had my hand melted off with a chemical weapon while third-degree burns and a skin graft. But here in Australia, between our private health and public Medicare, I didn't owe a cent. Yeah, I have heard that from a lot of people from Australia, that when they have health needs, it is taken care of.
My mother filed bankruptcy probably 10 years ago because she got her hip replaced and then she got her knee replaced, and she was still paying on her hip by the time she needed her knee replaced. So she could not afford $50 a month for each joint on a payment plan. Oh, there's my other daughter. That one's an RN. She's in the middle.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Yeah, so my mom.
Somebody likes the letter M when they're naming their offspring.
I know. When we had our son, my husband was like, "No more M's, no more M's," because his sister is Mariah and his mother's Mary.
Oh. So you didn't name your son Mark
No,
or Matthew.
I said Michael, but Alan, my husband, was like, "No Michaels."
It's kind of hard to do a non-biblical name with M. trying to think of one right now.
Muhammad.
Still kind of like Abrahamic, I guess.
The Lone Wanderer says, I spent the first 3 months of Obamacare crying. So many people I spoke to had never been insured in their lives. I worked for the health insurance marketplace. Oh, that's interesting.
Okay, I thought it was going to be like the other side, like, oh, I cried because, it it messed me up because I keep hearing the other side, like, oh, well, this is such a terrible idea, Obamacare. I want to know the downside of it because sometimes I hear from the doctors complaining about it too.
I've got a daughter that's a doctor, and she says it's got its upsides and its downsides, but overall she sees it as a good thing.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out myself. Like what the downsides of it was, but I don't see what's wrong with people being, or at least having some sort of healthcare to help them pay for the pill.
Yeah, a lot of things in healthcare are really politicized.
Yeah.
The only thing, I guess, some of course were complaining that, if you didn't have insurance, you would get penalized during tax season.
Yep.
Yes.
Melody put on there something about I try my best every day to make a small difference. I don't think anybody in the healthcare field makes a small difference. They go through a lot of bullshit. I mean, they do things that, I'm a grown man. I wouldn't do half the stuff they do. I'm sorry, but it takes special breed to be in the healthcare.
Oh, especially nowadays, yes.
And we fell into a lucky category though, because in our area code or zip code, we actually have 2 hospitals. One is Catholic and one is secular. So I had my children at the non-Catholic hospital. I had my surgery at the non-Catholic hospital. And whenever we have to go to the ER, we go to the non-Catholic hospital. And everybody's like, why don't you go to the Catholic hospital? They got a new facility for this. They got a new facility for this. I'm like, because they're baiting you in. That's why.
In Indiana, where I moved from, the Indiana University was trying to buy up all the hospitals. And there, obviously there was no religious connotation or connection, but they were doing the same thing. They were trying to become a monopoly in the state by buying up all the hospitals. Lone Wanderer is coming up with lots of M names that are not in the Bible.
Thanks, Lone Wanderer.
I knew a Miles. There was a guy named Miles that lived across the street from us.
My son would approve that one because he's a huge Spider-Man fan.
And Taram says, almost a doctor, we were designed in his image, allegedly. So basically God is buggered. Bad back, poor eyesight, etc. God's a bit of a mess, really. Omnipotence and all-powerful, my ass. Yeah, that's in response to almost a doctor's comment earlier about how wonderful our bodies are. Not, and obviously, almost a doctor was being facetious with that.
Not to mention the fun area that is near the soup.
Are you sure it wasn't the fall of sin or a fall of man because of sin?
Yep. And almost a doctor says maybe his ass is his most powerful feature. The downsides of Obamacare was many states got rid of the high risk pool. Many insurance companies pulled out of markets, or they offered plans that paid absolutely nothing to get the subsidy.
So, like, if you were, I guess, high risk, then you're pretty much a liability to some of these insurance companies that, they didn't want to insure.
You're considered uninsurable.
Yep.
which I guess makes sense in like life insurance. When when getting life insurance, they kind of like pre-qualify you, or like they try
Right.
to at least for your rate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is a business.
Yes, it is.
Everybody
And
is.
unfortunately, I think their insurance companies run this whole thing more than doctors
Oh yeah.
themselves.
Oh yeah. Right now I'm in a fight with our insurance, which is great insurance. We have great coverage, like I was saying. But I'm in a fight right now to get a new MRI for my back. But they said I have to go through so many sessions, so many weeks of PT, which I had to re-enroll because I did about a year's worth pre-COVID. And I told them, I said I did about a year's worth pre-COVID. Oh, that doesn't count. Why doesn't it count? Because it was over a year ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, well, it's a good thing I don't have a copay for PT because I would be paying $50 a session to get an MRI that I got to pay a copay on, and blah 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 to find out what is wrong.
And Taram says, well, it's the wind of God. Let's see. Did we get? Yeah, we did get to that comment. Okay, here's another comment from Lone Wanderer's Bunker. Other downsides to Obamacare were geriatrics, only coverage, and doctors not accepting insurance. Most people don't know this, but doctors choose what insurance they accept. Yeah, I was well aware of that. When my mother got cancer, my parents moved not too long after that. And when she arrived in North Carolina, and was looking for a doctor that accepted Medicare, she had a hard time finding a doctor that would accept Medicare.
Mm-hmm. It's even hard right now to find a regular PCP, let alone one that takes Medicare, because everybody's in a specialty. So, I mean, my mom just moved back. She retired and she moved back to this area, and I'm trying to get her into my PCP, but I don't know if they take Medicare anymore, Medicaid, or anything like that. It's exasperating.
Junk Shop is here. Yay! Greetings, Junk Shop. I haven't seen Junk Shop Library in a long time. I know that Junk Shop and Julie had to move unexpectedly. They got an eviction notice and had to move. Everyone in the building was kicked out. I don't know why, but possibly a problem with the building. I have no idea. But that and Junk Shop and Julie have both gotten new jobs recently, and so they both have had a bit of a month themselves. But it is great to see you here, Junk Shop. We missed you.
Yeah, good to have you with us, Junk Shop.
Okay, it has been almost 20 minutes, and we haven't had any more donations to the website in that time. And I don't expect people who are here to give more because, everybody can only do so much. But if you could all, send out an invite to friends, bring some more friends in, because we've only got 11 people here right now, and maybe we could get some more friends in here. And if we could just get $1, $2, $5 from each friend that we can bring in, we could get this bill covered. And Harmonica Man, could Jen with one intern volume up? Yeah, we tried that. And the answer is no. We already tried that. And we're getting as much volume as we can. And Junk Shop sends a heart. We heart you too, Junk Shop.
Where's my thing? There it is.
There we go. Oh, yeah. I almost wore my Smiter shirt today. I went looking for my Smiter shirt, and I couldn't find it. Of course, if I had my Smiter shirt on, you can't really read it anyway. I made the mistake of getting black writing on hunter green, and you can't see it, which actually in one way was a good thing, because today I shot my newest video, which was a response to Ben Shapiro, and it's on. I'm not sure if he really intended this to be on transgender children, because what he says really doesn't apply to transgender children unless you look at it exactly the right way. But they put a really clickbait title on the video that definitely was aimed at transgender children. And so I responded to it. And so my ally shirt is a better shirt to wear for that video anyway.
I used to have a great shirt back in high school because my sister my oldest sister lived in Kentucky at that time. And at the time, she was married to a pastor, a minister, a Methodist minister. And he was actually attending seminary to become a minister. Anyway, I digress. So on the way down to Kentucky, actually in Kentucky, right off the highway, there is a state park, not a national park, it's a state park. And it's where they found a bunch of woolly mammoths and their tusks and all of those items. And it's a really cool place to go. I mean, they have them all just like, you gotta go. It's right near the Ark Encounter. It's half hour away. And it's called Big Bone Lick State Park.
Mm.
And I had the shirt in high school, and it was red, but it was a dark red t-shirt with light red, like embossed over it. So you could see it up close, but I didn't get in trouble for wearing it.
What did it say?
Big Bone Lick State Park.
Oh, okay.
And that's what it's called on the highway. Big Bone Lick State Park. Next
Right. Yeah. Lone Wanderer says they had a high risk pool in Granny's home state, one of the biggest in the country. I'm not sure whether Lone Wanderer means Alabama, where I am now, or Indiana, where I came from. And Lone Wanderer says, my PCPs keep dying on me. Is that private care physicians? Okay.
Yes. Or providers.
Or moving. Or moving. Oh, Julie's here too. Julie, we missed y'all too. Yeah, we missed you too.
Hey, Julie.
Yay, Julie.
I saw she was on. She was doing a show earlier, or a stream.
Okay, we're at 23 minutes and we're still at $435. All right, what are we going to do to get a little bit more money in? Should we sing? Should we dance? Will you pay us to not sing? If Robin was here, I would ask Robin to sing. Robin's a good singer, but Robin went back to school. Robin's in Auburn.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm finally getting myself back into into school.
Oh, really? What are you studying?
Well, I'm trying to get my degree in applied science, so I can be a hygienist. I wish I can say I can be a doctor, a dentist, but it's the time really that kills me. I mean, I know most of the stuff just by watching, and I can probably do the procedures myself if he tells me, oh, finish it off for me. But certifications and licenses and whatnot.
Speaking of dental, it sucks that dental and vision is not included under the umbrella of regular care.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
Because, especially with adults, if you try to get, if you're under Medicaid and you try to get like a root canal, it's very hard to find somebody who will not only take it, but, chances are it won't be covered.
Okay. Taram says he recommends a song and dance routine. What's a song that all of us know? Or Taram, do you have a request for a song that you would like us to sing? It's going to have to be something fairly simple. I don't listen to much music.
Picked up Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Oh, there we go. There we go. You know that, Junie?
Wait, which one?
John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Oh, boy.
Do you know it, Ox? Is Ox still there?
I'm here, but I guarantee you don't want me singing.
Oh, actually, I'm thinking because there's going to be a slight lag, we're all going to be singing at a slightly different time, and it's going to be funny.
I started singing, the feds could show up.
I'll pick a different key.
All right, here we go. A 1 and a 2 and John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. His name is my name too. Whenever we go out, the people always shout, there goes John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. La 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 la. How was that? Taram.
It ended good.
Yeah, it did.
Boy, I miss choir.
Oops, I was muted.
Let's see if that did anything for us. It did. It did. Okay.
Oh no.
You
Somebody
guys
pay
talk a bit
attention.
while I pull up the new screen, because it takes me a minute to crop this and get it ready.
Oh wow. Julie. Thank you. Thank you so much.
There we go. Ooh.
I'm saying thank you right now. But
And there we are. We are currently at $490. Thank you very much, Randall. Harmonica Man.
Thanks,
Okay.
Ethan. We would have you play the harmonica if you were here.
Hey, Harmonica Man, do not apologize. Everything, every little bit helps.
yes.
And that's what this is all about. You know, a couple dollars here and a couple dollars there, and we will get there. And we are doing great. We are at $490. Let's see. Someone who's faster than me at math. What's half of 1350? Would be 5, 6, 750, 775. Is that right?
675.
I was just but
670.
Okay, so we're
We're getting
we're
there.
probably we're about 40%.
Yes.
We're about 40%, and that's not bad. 40% is not bad.
Not bad at all. That's awesome.
Taram says, I don't know the song, but well done. I'm sure the recording companies will be contracting shortly.
We needed auto tune.
what would this quartet be called?
The fundraisers? Raising our
I love
voices
it.
for sirens? Or let's see, sirens? We got to put some kind of sirens in it for ambulance. I don't know.
I'm out of tune.
So, what are people's opinion on Afghanistan? That seems to be the biggest news story right now.
I'm staying out of that one.
Okay, understandable.
We wouldn't have that problem if we hadn't been there in the first place, I don't think.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true.
I mean, it's just like Israel and Pakistan there. Them people been fighting that battle for over 2,000 years. They ain't going to stop now.
Mm-hmm.
And us going over there just mixes things up even more. So I think we need to let them do what they got to do. I mean, if they get out of hand, you know the U.S. will just go over there and bomb shit out of them anyway.
I like godless groupies.
atheist harmonics or something like that. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I also think, the outcome would have ended up being the same, whether it be 1 year, 2 years, 30 years,
Yeah.
20 years.
Mm-hmm.
If we couldn't help them inside 20 years, come on.
I mean, yeah, it's obviously a humanitarian crisis. When you see the videos and all,
Mm-hmm.
I think more, I guess heartaching is just for the women and children that are there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've
Well,
seen.
Wasn't it the same thing that we did in Afghanistan? How we created Osama bin Laden in the first place? Wasn't it just next door there with Osama? us interfering is what made him rise up against us?
Probably.
I mean,
Yeah, to a certain extent. To a certain extent, yeah.
so I mean, if nothing else, all we're doing is infuriating the Taliban and making it worse.
The one thing that I'm hoping is I've noticed that the Taliban is at least making an attempt at trying to be part of the global community.
They are with China and Russia. They're already
Well,
in talks. They're already in talks with China and Russia.
I just like how they said women are going to have all the rights, all the rights. We're going to give women all the rights. Asterisk under the Taliban.
yeah.
Yeah, everybody knows that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Term says, well, it's a bit rich. The Taliban now saying that the West has a moral duty to help rebuild the area. Really? Where was this reach out from the Taliban when the troops were there? Yeah. Lone Wanderer says the siren callers. And Kevin Chaos has arrived. Hello, Kevin. Good
Hey,
to have
Kevin.
you here, Kevin. Okay, new topic. Oh, we've got an update. We have an update.
Let me look.
So let me see if I can just, no, I can't do that. Yeah, maybe I can do that. Let me see if I can do this without going through so much rigmarole to print the screen.
On my end, it says 590.
There you go. Yep.
Yep.
What?
We
Whoa.
are at 590.
Thank you,
We're getting
Julie,
closer.
Randall,
Yes.
and Anonymous, and Matt, and Anonymous, and everybody else.
Oh, thank you, Julie.
Yes, Julie,
That was
thank you so
amazing.
much. That was very generous.
Over and above anything I could possibly ask, including Kelly's donation, which literally put me on the floor. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm just thankful that we have kind-hearted people willing to help. And I know I'm getting really close to my mic, but really, you have no idea how much I appreciate this. And not only me, but we heathens can come together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we don't need a chapel or a steeple or somebody in the cloth to tell us what to do.
Yeah.
And we don't have a church taking 10% off the top of it
Mhm.
for us.
We won't guilt you into it.
Ted Frank says, make me your president. I'm frickin' hard to kill and can't be threatened or bribed and have awesome management skills.
Well, you can be the manager of the siren singing group.
There you go.
And Julie says, no tithes.
I remember back growing up, my mom was a widow, and of course we went to church every Sunday morning and evening, and Wednesday night, and sometimes Friday for youth group. Anyway, she would tithe and give offering. So every week was her general offering, which was about $25. And her tithe, she actually biblically tithed.
Mhm.
As a single mom, widowed, with me at home, and we were living off of her part-time job, my part-time job, and my father's life insurance. And she gave 10% off the top, and she expected me to. And that was at the time when minimum wage was just crested over $4 an hour.
Mhm.
You know, when gas was 88 cents a gallon. I remember. She would go without. She would go without before she would stop her tithing.
Yeah. Yeah. Make sure God gets his, and the church is very good at keeping you in the mindset that that's what you need to do, because they keep telling you that if you do that, then God will bless you and make sure that you have everything you need.
Mhm.
Why does God need money?
Well, the thing that I keep, tweeting at Paula White Kane and a couple other the prosperity gospel people, but mostly just Paula White Kane because I happen to like to pick on Paula White Kane, is if you people actually believed what you claim that you say, why not just give away the millions that you have and then just pray for some more? You could wipe out poverty single-handedly.
The same reason why Catholic churches are gilded with gold. That's why.
Mm-hmm. Religion does not just poison everything, it also robs everyone, robs you of the right to think and your wallet and your right to have any money in it.
Mhm.
So, from my understanding, is so tithing is what's required, and offering is like the tip.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And
Just
funny
so
enough,
it's clear.
this daughter who sorry if there's a lag. This daughter who had the ambulance ride, she is not the daughter who the church called a bastard. That would be the first daughter. So this daughter apparently can get to heaven somehow, but my first daughter, forget it. According to our old pastor, she is doomed to hell without any possibility of going to heaven because she was born without me and her father being wed.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, we are up to $610, Jen.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank
Yay.
you, Kevin. Yes, we are almost halfway there. We are
Oh my
getting very
goodness.
close to the 50%
Oh.
mark.
You know, I've seen a lot of communities on YouTube, the Christian community, the art community, this, that, and the other. And I'd have to say between the atheists and the LGBT have to be the best communities I've ever seen.
Mhm.
I mean, people that don't know each other helping each other for just to help. You don't see that everywhere.
Ted is absolutely right. Those arcs and crap they keep on building could house thousands. Yeah. If the Christians would use all that money that they keep getting for something that would actually help people instead of trying to indoctrinate people with the religion more, there's so much more that they could do.
I just got triggered. I had a tweet out, what was it, a few days ago, where my father, who passed away 30 years ago, all his siblings were in town for the weekend. And he has one brother and 3 sisters, and they were all here, which was cool. So they're like, let's all get together, bring your kids or whoever can come, and we'll go to the local diner and we'll have the back room to ourselves and we'll have a small family reunion. Fine, cool. And I got to see my aunt, who's out of state, and she is probably pushing 70. And she said, "Oh, I need to come visit her now that her and her husband are officially retired. They got all this time on their hands, they can do whatever they want." And they said, "You know, your Aunt S was out here, and we took her to this really nice museum nearby. Like it's shaped like an arc.
Oh,
We need to get you out here so you can come do that." I was like, "Okay. You do the head shake. Okay."
Yeah.
That's not the reaction I would have.
Sorry, I was gonna say, yeah, don't give don't give Ken Holman I think that's I'm sorry. Don't give Ken Ham any ideas of converting his arc into like a hotel or anything.
Well, actually, that would be a lot better.
Yeah, but imagine the prices.
Yeah, but at least it wouldn't be an indoctrination camp. At least it would be just a hotel.
Well, he could turn it into like a whole Christian experience. Like
Well,
instead of
speaking
mitts
of
on your
hotels,
pillows, you get like the communion wafer and juice to go.
Durham says Christians and Muslims help people because their religion demands it. However, atheists help people as it's just the right thing to do. And they tell us we have no morals. Yep.
yeah,
Yes, we can't have more.
as God's engineer always puts it like in his streams when he does I guess he does some charity stuff like streams like once in a while, and he's like, oh well, what crappy things are we doing today?
Junk Shop says hotel. He had put the guests in the velociraptor cages.
Oh, I know. My husband didn't believe when I told him that they actually have, velociraptors and dinosaurs in Eden as the diorama. He's like, no. I said, yeah, they do. They do. They really do.
Why did he not believe that? Because he thought they would deny the existence of dinosaurs?
No, he just didn't think it went as far. Like, he's not, like, my husband's an atheist, and he's
Mhm.
actually, he actually came out, like, realized it himself before I came out and said I was. And when I told him I was, he goes, what the hell took you so long? So, because I'm the one who always dragged him to church. I'm the one who made him convert to my religion to get married and everything. So I told him, and he's like, well, no, he doesn't really put the animal, put like the, the dinosaurs inside Eden. And I'm like, there's a picture of Eve feeding a velociraptor a freaking apple,
Mhm.
He didn't believe. I had to show him.
And Harmonica Man asked, would the Ark Hotel have a Lincoln suite with pterodactyls and the works? I wonder if it would be kind of like the new Star Wars hotel that Disney has. Charge a couple $1,000 a night for it. Probably what he would do.
Pterodactyl would be the Matt Powell suite.
Ark Hotel holds about 30 people. Enjoy the amazing view from the one window and be sure to bring your own shovel. Its toilet facilities are limited. Plus, you must feed a minimum of 2,000 animals per night per person.
I'm picturing it like, did you ever watch The Office when Dwight had he turned his farmhouse into his own like motel, B&B, and he had, this is the plumbing room, or no, I forgot. He had different themes for his rooms. He had like the plumbing room, the farm, the dirt room, and something like that. I'm just picturing like, this is the flood room, this is the babble room, this is the, whatever. You get my point.
I thought you were going to tell me. I have an aunt that has a house that was built in like 1800. It's it's a renovated, very old house, and one of the bathrooms doesn't have a sink in it. So you use the toilet in this room, and then you have to go down the hall to the sink room. And there's this little closet of a room, and that's all that's in there is a sink and a towel rack. You go to the sink room to wash.
My sister lives in a farmhouse about a half hour from here, and the previous owner turned their under the stairs like triangular nook, into a half bath.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're over 5'5", you can't fit in it, because it's in a triangle, and it has like a sliding door, and it's only 3 foot deep. And you have to swing around to walk. There's this full sink and a full toilet. But I said, it's your hairy potty. It's the cupboard under the stairs. But now she just uses it to potty train the grandbabies.
Ah, okay. And we have another update.
Oh.
And I have figured out how to do this better. So
drum roll, please.
There we go. Yep. And you just got Another $10. Very good. So we're up to 620
Thank
now.
you, Kevin. Thank you.
Mhm. Who made it? The Aztecs? Ox, you could say that out loud. You don't have to be silent.
Oh yeah, I'm used to being in the chat.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but I'm glad that we were able to be in the same stream, as I don't remember if we were well, if you were in the stream together.
No, I've only been in Math Pigs, Bees, and I think one other one. I think it was Ginger, something, whatever his name was. But
Yeah, Ox and I are usually more snarky and more wittier in the chat.
Me too.
So
Sometimes
sorry
we get
for
younger.
everybody.
yeah, I function better typing than I do talking.
Yeah, same here.
Usually when I start talking, people get mad.
Flea bites in the crotch sounds like a biblical punishment if ever there was one.
Oh my gosh. Wasn't there something about like hemorrhoids or something like that in the Bible too? Golden hemorrhoids?
Not that I recall. I'm not sure what you're trying to
Look
get.
it up. Let me look it up. Hold on.
Julie's got it. Ginger Nation was the other one I was on.
Ah, okay. I saw them saying Ginger Nation in the chat, but I didn't know what they were talking about. Okay, that's
Yeah.
the golden one. Okay. And oops.
Yes, here it is. 1 Samuel 6:4.
Okay, what does it say?
Then said they, What shall be the trespass offering which we shall return to him? They answered, 5 golden emerods and 5 golden mice, according to the number of the lords of the Philistines. For one plague was on you all and on your lords. Asterisk. Emerods or hemorrhoids?
Ah, okay.
I knew it was in
Okay.
the Bible.
Okay, that's why Junk Shop said emerods. I had no
Yes.
idea what emerods was. Okay.
So God wants to be a pain in the ass.
A gilded pain in the ass.
I'm telling you.
And Ted Frank says also God doesn't want you to have free stuff.
Apparently.
Well, no, because somebody would have to pay for it, and that would be money out of God's pocket.
Good point. Yep. So, let's see what else is new. I was rather surprised with the hurricane directions. I was all ready for 2 hurricanes to be coming through. Now I live far enough inland that we don't worry about hurricanes as hurricanes. We just figure we're going to get some thunderstorms, and was really surprised when one went east of us and the other went west of us, and they both missed us entirely.
Somebody must have prayed for that.
Yeah, I worry about our climate situation here, but if we don't, I don't know, it's because it's hard to stop everything that we do, right? And it's always leisure over and convenience. That's what's got us to where we're at. It's just the convenience of things.
And Junk Shop has reminded me of something that makes a very good topic of conversation. Junk Shop said, blessed safe from hurricanes, which reminds me of the safe from the Day of Prayer to End Atheism. That was one of the funniest non-events I have ever seen. I went ahead and watched, I wasn't there while it was live, but I went ahead and watched the video that they put up for that. Did anyone else see the video?
Wait, there was a video?
Yeah, there was a short video. It was about 15 minutes where the guy was talking about the event. He never actually did pray, which is one thing that I put a
Huh.
comment about, because that was one of my biggest criticisms of Christianity while I was still a Christian, is that we would get together for a prayer session and we'd have an hour, an hour and a half set aside just for prayer. And we would spend 80% of the time talking about what we were going to pray about, and no more than 20% of the time actually praying. And when we would have Bible study and have prayer after the Bible study, when we only had like maybe 15, 20 minutes, we would spend the entire time talking about what we wanted to pray for, and then go, oops, sorry, we don't have any time to pray. We never really did much praying. And their event was the same way. They had the whole video talking about prayer and and how they're going to pray away atheism, and then he never actually gets around to praying.
Because they knew it wouldn't work.
Yeah, there were a bunch of people in the chat that were making comments about, we're still here, and he was addressing them and saying, you got to wait. There's other people around the world that are still praying. You got to wait for all the prayers to come in.
And that was what, 3 days ago?
Yeah,
4
it was
days
3
ago?
days ago.
So I wonder what their excuses are now.
Jet lag.
Harmonica Man says, I think Christians should start asking God for all of our child support. After all, he's the biggest deadbeat dad in the world. Yeah, I've made that argument too. Julie says, weird, we didn't all disappear. Once again, the power of prayer fails to live up to expectations. And according to the Gospel of Judas, all religions are following the foolish one great reed explains a lot. Oh, following the foolish one great reed explains a lot. There we go. And Junk Shop says, I mean, I disappeared. I don't know what astral plane y'all are texting from. And B says, don't worry, Julie. It's like the dump stuff. Going to happen any day now. Just check on them the 12th of every month. But the thing that I found the funniest of all in the video is at one point, somebody got his goat and he went, Jesus Christ. And so I said, oh, he took the Lord's name in vain. What's that going to do? God's not going to listen to your prayers now.
You had his attention until then.
Yep.
The power
Oh,
of
my
Christ did not compel us.
Would you say, Jen?
The power of Christ did not compel us.
Nope. Still waiting. Still waiting. Still waiting.
I did see Jesus that day though. He was
Oh, you did?
Yeah, he was mowing my yard.
Oh, cool. Cool.
This is real good. He trims bushes great.
Nice. Nice. Now, is this someone that comes and does your yard on a regular basis, or was it?
Yeah, we rent, so the landlord has somebody that comes and does the yard. They're here every week, it seems like. Every week or every 2 weeks.
That's the thing.
But it's funny because I think the guy's name is really Jesus.
Yeah. I was gonna say the number of people named Jesus, but like, it's hard to find anybody. I guess with the English pronunciation of Jesus, like that's non-Hispanic.
I think I read somewhere one time that was the most used male name in South America was Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Middle name or something. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone wants their child to be like Jesus, so they name them after him. Oh, I know another good topic for conversation. What does anyone think about Governor Abbott getting COVID? Is anyone surprised?
No. Though I heard that that they were vaccinated.
Yes. He was vaccinated, and I'm very glad for that because he is asymptomatic, and that is a good thing. I think the thing that I find so frustrating, though, is that he and all the governmental leaders are all vaccinated, but they don't care if the people get vaccinated. And they're telling the people not to wear masks. And why does
I
he
meant
want everyone to
same.
spread this around?
They're killing off their constituency.
Exactly.
Literally.
hmm
Although I think a lot of them are realizing that, wait, a lot of our supporters are dying. So, I mean, some of them have realized, okay, yeah, go get the vaccine. We need your vote later.
hmm
But yeah, I can't believe that it's come down to this. We're back almost to square one.
Yeah, I've been absolutely flabbergasted. I expected to see an uptick as a result of the people that weren't vaccinated, but I had no clue that it would be this bad.
Yeah.
It's really bad in Tennessee too. My next oldest sister is an RN outside Knoxville, and she texted me today, and I finally today I'm like I blame Greg Locke, and she goes, yeah, he's a loony.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister is a Christian,
Mm.
and even she said, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's a loony.
My husband is a Christian, but he's also a very liberal person. He's not a MAGA by any stretch of the imagination, and he thinks all of these people are absolutely loonies as well.
Yeah, I was one of the people that were like waiting in the queue on my phone to like make an appointment for my vaccine because I'm considered high risk, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting, and my husband got his through his teachers union, and my daughter got hers through her work being a nurse, and I'm like, when is it going to be my turn? And I'm like waiting, and people are like, nah, I'm good. Like, what is wrong with you? The same people who had chickenpox parties back in the 80s are having COVID parties now.
Mm-hmm. Although sometimes chickenpox, having a chickenpox party wasn't such a bad idea, because if you got it over with before you started school, then you didn't have to miss school for it.
Mm-hmm.
And chickenpox generally was not considered that big of a deal. People weren't dying from it.
Yeah, I was one of the first. I had it in first grade, and I missed an entire month of school.
Oh, wow.
I missed all of May because I had chickenpox, and you're contagious, and then you're scabbing and whatnot. But then I went into pneumonia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Junk Shop says Tennessee in here can confirm National Guard deployed here the other day for medical relief effort.
Yeah.
Julie says it's amazing. My mom got a bed in the ICU when she needed one yesterday. Wow.
Oh, geez.
I'm glad she was able to get a bed, because, yeah, that is definitely an issue. And Junk Shop says yet later shingles. I don't know about this. Does anyone know if you get the chickenpox vaccine, can you still get shingles later?
As long as you've never gotten chickenpox,
Mm.
you have to have the varicella in you. Like, I am at risk for getting shingles, but my kids got the chickenpox vaccine. I think my oldest was about 5 when she got hers, maybe 4 when they came out, when it was easily publicly available. So my kids never had to go through what I went through. And my mom just got over shingles before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I don't want to have to deal with. And you have to be 50 to get the shingles vaccine. So I have 6 years to go.
Oh, my doctor offered me a shingles vaccine this year, but I turned it down. I've never had an issue with shingles. I didn't really necessarily see a reason to do it. I did have chickenpox. Yeah, there was no chickenpox vaccine when I was a kid. I do know that my 2 oldest kids had chickenpox. I don't remember when the chickenpox vaccine came out. Robin had the chickenpox vaccine, but my older kids had chickenpox. It was kind of funny because they went to spend a week with grandma, and they both got chickenpox while they were with my mother. although in a way that was kind of a good thing because my mom was a registered nurse. And so the two of them spent a week with grandma with their own private nurse. The bad thing was that when my daughter, who's now the doctor, grew up, she could not get a record of having had chickenpox. She didn't have the vaccine because she'd already had chickenpox, and we had no record of her ever having chickenpox because my mom took care of them, and they never did go to the doctor. So there was no medical record that she had had chickenpox. So she had to get a chickenpox vaccine as an adult because there was no record that she had already had chickenpox.
My mom had to get it too, and she still got shingles because my mom had her spleen removed. She had half of her pancreas and her entire spleen removed about 10 years ago, and she had to get all her childhood inoculations again.
I'm chuckling because Harmonica Man says shingles aren't as good as a metal roof.
Oh,
I would definitely disagree with you there, Harmonica Man. What were you saying, Junie? Oh, Junie's muted. I really don't think metal roofs are very good at all. They leak too easily.
I like metal roofs. The sound of a spring rain on a metal roof will put me out faster than anything else.
Okay. Taram says it's 2:15 a.m., so he is off to bed. Thank you for coming, Taram. It was wonderful having you. Thank you for the donation, and we appreciate your company and we appreciate your wit. So sleep well. We're not going to be on much longer anyway, but we do need to get to halfway. Let's see if we can't get us to let's see if we can't get Jen to halfway. We're at 620, and we need to get to 695 to get to halfway. So we need another $70. If anyone has any more friends out there that can round up and say, hey, come and bring $5 and see if we can't just get a few more people in, and we can't get that up to halfway and get that to 695. Was it? Yeah, I think it was 690. No, it was 675.
Yeah,
was it?
We need $55 more to be.
Yeah, we need 50. We need $55 more. Friends, no one is leaving the chat. We are locking the chat doors, and no one will be allowed to leave. We are going to pass the plate one more time, and no one will be allowed to leave until we get $55 more. You may leave to go get another friend, though. We will allow that.
Mike Lindell. No one goes to get dinner. We're doing this for 3 days.
That's right. You have to watch us until we have. We may threaten to sing another song.
This is a better symposium than what he did.
Harmonica Man says the exterminating angel of donations. And Harmonica Man has tweeted us out again. Thank you very much, Harmonica Man. Maybe we'll get just another $5 here or there, and we'll get Jen up to halfway. But let's try to get Jen up to halfway before we close out. Although I don't know that we're going to do it because we're getting very close to the end of our show. But hey, at least we got something.
Hey,
got
I'm
something.
happy with $10. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
I didn't expect anything. Like
She's gonna leave it up. So
yeah,
I mean, we can keep posting links for the next couple weeks. I mean, I'm sure she's gonna reach it.
Nobody gets no honey till we get your money.
Thanks, guys.
When we used to go to church in Texas, the big thing was banana pudding, and I never understood the big thing about Christians and banana pudding.
with the
And
vanilla wafers.
what'd you say?
With vanilla wafers.
Yep. And the pastor would say, y'all aren't paying attention to me. You're thinking about your banana pudding. And I'm telling you, nobody's leaving here to go get their banana pudding until we're done here. So just, sit yourselves back down and just, pay attention. and I always just thought, I don't dislike banana pudding, but I'd much rather have a bowl of ice cream. I just never found anything that attractive about it. I couldn't understand why it was the big thing.
Well, my mom
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had it.
pudding.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's just pudding that's banana flavored.
No, you got to add real bananas to it. That's what it is.
Mm.
You got to do it. You got to do a layer of vanilla wafers, and then a layer of chopped up banana, and then the pudding, and then the whipped cream.
Ah,
That's
okay.
what it is.
We always just did a box of banana flavored pudding and just stuck some vanilla wafers in it. And I said, yeah, this is pretty ho-hum. And Julie says, all right, if that includes me, this is personal. Cough it up, people. I need my honey.
Hey, God's in the chat. Tell him to fork it up.
That's right. God.
They should be able to just snap his fingers and poof it right in there, shouldn't they?
Well, this is God equals the square root of -1. So
He got God in the title. He's got to take blame.
I see.
Oh. And of course, I'll give my portion when I get a chance. Some today and a bit tomorrow. And of course, you'll get my little side joke, like, oh, here, take my gas money.
Harmonica Man says it's strawberry socials here. Junk Shop Library says banana pudding is repellent. You're not missing anything, Junie. But Julie disagrees with Junk Shop. And Julie says, you never had my grandma's banana pudding. It was just like Jen described.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel that way about fruitcake. A lot of people really diss on fruitcake and think fruitcake. I make a mean fruitcake. And one year I made a whole bunch of fruitcakes and I gave a number of them away. And when I offered one to a particular friend, she went, oh, you're trying to get rid of them, huh? And I said, no, I made these myself. If you don't want one, no problem. I'll give it to somebody else. But the thing that made my fruitcake different is it was not dry. I soaked my fruitcake in rum for 24 hours before I made it. And all of the liquid in the cake was rum. It was
Fruitcake is like crack for me. I love this stuff.
Yeah, actually, I've had fruitcake, but not banana pudding.
I make a really good banana bread.
Okay, we have another update.
Uh-oh.
We're at 6:25.
We are at 6:25. We just got a Jeffrey Breeze just donated, and I think that is Godless Scummer. I believe that is Godless Scummer.
I think so.
I have not seen Scummer in the chat, but somebody must have woke him up because it's 2:00 in the morning where he lives.
Well, thanks, Cover.
Zuni says, I've never had banana pudding. No idea what it tastes like. God equals the square root of -1 says cheesecake rules. I would agree with you there, especially Robin. One thing interesting. And B confirms, yes, it is Godless Scummer. And Junk Shop says Scummer doesn't sleep. Oh, there's Scummer. There's Scummer. Hello. Oh, Scummer says he's going back to sleep now. Thank you so much for popping in and giving us the donation. We really appreciate it. We are so close to that halfway mark, and we're just trying to get to that halfway mark before we finish for the night.
Cheesecake.
Oh, what? Go ahead.
Cheesecake. Do you like Italian cheesecake made with ricotta, or New York or French style made with cream cheese?
Yes.
Yes to all.
Yes.
I never had it made with ricotta.
I haven't had it French style. That's one I haven't heard.
Actually, I have had French style and New York style, but I'm not sure that I've had Italian style. I might have. It's hard to say. We eat at Cheesecake Factory somewhat frequently. And so I get really good cheesecake. Although there is no Cheesecake Factory here in Huntsville where I live, but there is one in Birmingham, which is only an hour and a half away. So we sometimes go down there. But one thing that's interesting is the people of Huntsville have been asking Cheesecake Factory to put a store up here. And they keep telling us no, that Huntsville's too small. The newest census just came out. Huntsville is now bigger than Birmingham. Huntsville is now the biggest city in the state of Alabama. So now we could get a Cheesecake Factory.
Our nearest
Now we got to
one is
find the people to
45.
work there too.
That's for sure. Native Atheist says cheesecake is gross. That's interesting. And Junk Shack says cheesecake is an abomination. Smite. Zuni says Japanese strawberry cheesecake. That sounds interesting. Oh, and student Dr. Ben is here. Hello, student Dr. Ben. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. And let's see. Nope, we do not have an update for you right now.
What's up, Ben?
Hello, Ben.
Well, we were able to get you to $625, which isn't quite halfway, but it's awful doggone
Still
close.
awesome.
And yeah, and we did pretty
Still
good.
awesome.
Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and let each of us shill out for anyone that we want to shill out for, and then we'll go ahead and close the show. And let's start with Ox. Ox, tell us about anyone whose channel you want to support, or anyone who has some upcoming events that you would like to shill for.
Well, of course I got to go with B. She's got one coming up tomorrow, I think. Open mic at 8:30. That's always a blast there. I don't know, just there's a whole bunch of, I don't know.
Okay, that's okay. That's fine.
I'm not a shiller, I guess.
Really?
Junie, how about you? What have you got going on?
Well, I'm on a hiatus at the moment until next month. Then I'll start, restart the channel, and there'll be more stories, especially the scary story series. Of course, since we'll be entering the fall season. But if you haven't subscribed to Godless Granny, go ahead and do that. What are you doing? And yes, thanks, Ox. Check out B. She'll be having he'll be having the stream tomorrow. And then for Jen, please, if you can give a helping hand, that'd be great.
And Jen, what have you got coming up on your channel? Oh, go ahead.
I'm starting to work on the second season of the Patron Saints. I did 24 Patron Saints first time around, and I plan on doing 24 more. But each takes a while, but I have to get out there, and July was just a wash. I had planned on starting it in July, but as we now know, it was a wash.
Yeah, you had a few things come up there,
I had
didn't
a few
you?
things, just a couple things. But now that I would say by September, expect the second season of Patron Saints to start. And I'm still working on my alphabet
You might
series.
want to check that total again.
I did. I was going to wait till Jen was finished talking.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm still working on my alphabet series where I take the letter in an alphabetical order and I do one topic at a time. And I'm on U, the letter U, and I know exactly what I'm going to do, but I have to get to a place. I have to get to a certain museum and go there, and they haven't been open, which is like, I know I want to do this, but I can't. But that's it. Just be on the lookout for Patron Saints and my funny little ditties I do with my cartoons.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
And I have another update for you.
I'm gonna cheat. Look.
And there you are. We are at $660. And I cannot thank you enough, everyone. Almost a Doctor, B, Julie, Junk Shop, Student Dr. Ben, Harmonica Man, Jeff Breeze, Tarum. I know I've missed some of you. Native Atheist, B. Who did I miss? I'm not
I
sure
know.
who I.
That so needs a $6 donation right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, we did. We did.
Everyone has just been so generous, and it has been just an absolute pleasure to be able to do this. I wanted to let you know that I have a video coming out in a couple of days. It's going to be a response to Ben Shapiro, whose the title of his video that I'm responding to is just put on a pair of pants. And it's that's actually not quite correct. That's close, but yeah, I'm not gonna bother finding the exact correct. But basically, you know, he's saying that children can change their gender if they would just change their pants. So that's what I'm doing a response to. Then I have I'm going out of town for about 5 days to go see my daughter in Virginia, which I have not seen her in nearly 2 years because of COVID. And so I am taking a week off next week. There will be no stream next week. There will be no produced video next week. And then I will start back up again the following week. So no Godless Granny for 1 week. But I'm sure you all do just fine without me. And with that, I want to say thank you to everyone who has donated to this fundraiser. Thank you to everyone who contributed to the chat, to the fund. Thank you, Ox. Thank you, Junie. Thank you, Jen, for coming and making this such a success. And you are
Absolutely.
most
Thank you,
welcome.
everybody, for donating.
And with that, live your life.
Peace always, everybody.